Hey guys, it's me, AG444 today, guys. I'm finally doing my World Cup Group Stage 2022 predictor. So I'm using the Telegraph website for this, guys, and this should be really, really fun. So I'm going to be using this website. I will leave a link in the description below for you guys to join and do the predictions. Let me just say this as disclaimers right here. Number one is that I know you guys are going to tell me, oh, you have the World Cup squads aren't out yet, the World Cup rosters aren't out yet, and everything like that, which I understand. However, November is fast approaching. In fact, it is tomorrow or today because this will be scheduled. And I feel as though that it's best that we just do it now and get it done early in the month. So, as I said, guys, I want to have this one last for a couple of weeks. So, these are my final predictions for the World Cup. Everything comes to my mind. And today, I'm going to give you guys my honest predictions. Now, this will only be a group stage video. I will be doing a follow-up video for the round of 16 and the quarterfinals and the semis and the final. Probably tomorrow. So, just so you guys know. So, remember to watch this video before you watch the knockout stage video. And real guys, I'm going to do this as non-biased as I can. So, keep this objective speaking. So, I'll give like a 5-minute, maybe like a 2-minute explanation for every group. So, this should be equate to like around like a 20 to 30-minute video, somewhere in that time frame. Okay? So, let's start with Group A, guys. Group A, guys. So, let me get the timestamp here. And Group A. So we're gonna start with 1 minute and 30. So Group A. Coming in last place, guys. It is Qatar. I know Qatar is the host nation and everything. I understand. People tell me in the comment section, "Are you sure you're gonna do this?" I am very sure. And yes, I know they're Pod One. I just don't think Qatar is ready. To be honest with you, I know I know they played in the Asian Cup. I know they won it. Obviously, I know they did decently well in the Copa America. I think they finished third in the group, and then they also played in the World Cup. They also played against the World Cup qualifiers in Group A, and they obviously also did. As we all know, they also played in the Gold Cup as well. I just think for Qatar, they just haven't been good. I feel like ever since the Asian Cup, this team hasn't looked great, and I feel as though this Qatar team is regressing, and I feel like the World Cup has come at the worst possible time for them. As well as the fact that I feel like Qatar, the other nations group, I just think are too strong. I will say this though, Qatar shouldn't be completely right off upon. I do think they'll give a decent challenge, and I do think they can I do think they'll get something in this group, and I think they'll get a point against Ecuador. But that's about it. I don't see them getting anything more than a point in this group, and so I have them finishing bottom. I do think the players they'll go for Almuz Ali. He's one of their best players. Top goal scorer for them. Very, very crucial player. And Haydos Ali, their captain as well. Look out for these two players. I would say these two players are probably the best players for Qatar. So I'm going to say they finish last. So let me drag here. Okay, so I can't drag. So I'll just drag whenever I finish the group. So now, the third place I have in the group is Ecuador. I feel like Ecuador, for me, they're a great nation. I do think they have a lot of talent. I'm looking at players like Plata has been really good. Great Estepian, Ener Valencia. There's a lot of good talent there. And I feel like this team is really good. I feel like they have a lot of cultivating young talent, which is really nice to see. And I feel as though this World Cup has come a bit too early for Ecuador. I think this World Cup is a bit too early for them. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think they're going to have the youngest team in this year's World Cup. And so I think that's going to be a huge, it's going to be a huge stumbling block. And I think they're going to struggle because of that. So I hope they do well. I would like for them to get top two, but I just don't think they have enough in their tank to get a top two finish. And I also do question their away record because I think their away record is kind of poor, as we saw in the CONMEBOL qualifiers. They come in second place, the guy is Senegal. Senegal, for me, is a really good nation. I like what Senegal is doing. I think the players that they have is incredible. You got like Sadio Mane, Ismail Sarr, Edouard Mendy, etc. Then you have Cisse, who, in my opinion, is a very good coach. I think he might go down as one of the best coaches this year's World Cup. And by the way, guys, I will be doing a World Cup coach-related video probably on Thursday. It's going to be interesting to see how Senegal could perform in this year's World Cup. And in my personal opinion, I think they're best team from Africa. I think they're the team people shouldn't write off upon. And I do think they're going to cause some damage, and I think they'll do well. Okay, so I'm going to go with them in second place. My only issue with Senegal, though, is that I feel like their goal scoring is really a big issue because I just don't trust them when it comes to scoring goals because I know their defense is very good and they can, but it's just their goal scoring is really dry. They cannot score enough goals on a regular basis. So I think Senegal will get I think they'll get 7 points in this group. Actually, I think they might get six. I think they'll get 6 points in this group, and I think Netherlands will get nine. And I believe I'm going to say Ecuador. I think they're going to get 1 point. I think they're going to get 1 point. So yeah, Netherlands to top the group. I just think they have a really good squad, really stacked squad. You have likes of Depay, Van Dijk, Sillerson. There's a lot of quality players from there, and yeah, Netherlands should be able to top this group in my opinion with the player personnel that they have. So I'm gonna go at Netherlands to top the group. Then second place I'm gonna go with is gonna be Senegal. Third is gonna be Ecuador, and fourth is gonna be Qatar. So that is my order for that group. I feel like we spent enough time there for that one. So let's go to Group B, guys. Group B. So, Group B, we have here is England, Iran, USA, Wales. Now, I'm going to say this right now, and I might get attacked a lot in this comment section below, but I unfortunately think USA is finishing last. As an American man, this is painful to say. Because with the players that the USA have, there shouldn't really be any excuses, And I just feel as though that I don't know, man. I've just lost hope with the USA, to be honest with you. And those two friendlies against Japan and Saudi Arabia have given me very little faith in this national team. Because prior to those games, I actually had hope that USA can maybe clinch third or maybe even second. But guys, this USA team is a train wreck. Greg Berhalter is the issue. And this team, it cannot score goals in open play. Yes, there are some quality players like the likes of Pulisic comes to mind, McKennie, Giorena, Matt Turner, but I'm sorry, I just don't see USA doing it. I really don't see it, and I don't trust Berhalter whatsoever. And I think USA will finish bottom of the group. I think they'll get a point though. I think that I could see them getting a point against Wales, but that's it. I don't see them getting anything more than a point. And so, I'm sorry to say, I'm gonna go with USA to finish bottom. USA to finish bottom. Then third place in the group has Wales. Wales for me is a very good nation. I think they have a really good team. Defensively, they're very, very solid. They're tough to break down. You have like Gareth Bale comes to mind, probably their most prominent player. And yeah, I just think that for Wales, they just looking really good. My only question for Wales though is that my only concern with them is that this is their first World Cup in such a long time. Like, will the pressure get to them? And that's why I don't have Wales qualifying, because of the fact that this is like a first time they're gonna be playing this kind of thing, for some period of time. So, I do think they'll finish third in the group. And the second I got is Iran. I've been really convinced with Iran. Iran's looking really good, guys. And Iran could even top this group for what I know. And I think Wales will get a point. I think Wales, actually, I could see Wales getting 4 points maybe. No, 1 point. I think they'll get a point. I think they can get 2 points, actually. I'm going to say they get 2 points. I can see them maybe getting a draw against USA and getting a draw against England. And yeah. Okay. So, yeah, as I said, I just feel as though that Iran's just looking really good. Like I said, Taremi, Azmoun. You also had Jakanbash as well. There's a lot of quality players in this team. Defensively, they're very tough to break down. They have Carlos Queiroz back at the helm. And I just feel as though that appointment is a huge, huge statement. And I feel like Iran means business. And this is probably the best chance Iran have to make a knockout stage in such a period of long time. This will be the first time ever. So look out for this nation, guys. I think it's a nation that can cause a lot of damage, surprise. We saw how good they were in the last World Cup and how unlucky they were. And I do think they'll get that second place spot. At the top of the group, guys, I have is England. England should top this group. I know England is going through some of a runt. England's looking terrible right now, but let's be real, guys. This group is significantly easier to the group they had in the Nations League, and I do think they'll be able to navigate this one better. And I do think they'll do much better in this group than the group they had in the Nations League. And Harry Kane comes to mind. He's a really good playmaker. People need to talk about his playmaking ability because he's also very good. My only real concern with England though is the right back position, because obviously there's rumors suggesting that Reece James is going to miss the World Cup and potentially, I believe, Kyle Walker. So, but then you have Trippier there as well. My real issue with England though is that I just don't trust them when it comes to those big games. When it comes to high-pressure games where they need to perform, that's where I have England really struggling. And I think we'll see more of the issues for England really stem in the knockout stage. I think in the group stage, they'll be able to, navigate their way through. But in the knockout stage, I think they'll really struggle. So England top, Iran second. Third, I'm going to go with Wales. And fourth is going to be the United States of America. So let me give you guys a point tally for this group. So I got England to come in top of the group at 7 points. And I got Iran to advance with 4 points. So with the dub over USA, and I think they'll draw against Wales. And then Wales will come with second points, 2 points in this group, and USA to finish bottom with 1 point. Next we have is Group C, guys. Now this is a very tricky one. Group C is a very, very tricky one to call. And guys, I'm gonna go for a very controversial prediction, and some of you guys might be very surprised I'm saying this, but I'm gonna go ahead and say this right now. Fourth place in the group, I'm gonna go with this Poland. I know it's a crazy call to make. A lot of you guys might be very surprised when I'm saying this, but guys, I just don't trust Poland when it comes to major European competitions. They just always underperform. I'm sorry, Poland is just that nation, you know. And I know I might be reading too much. I know that they have the likes of Lewandowski and Zelensky. I know they have these kind of players, Szczesny, these kind of players, but I just don't trust Poland. I'm sorry, man. I don't trust Poland. I think they're a nation that gets overhyped. And I'm sorry, man. I think Poland will finish bottom of the group, and I think they'll struggle. I think they'll struggle to advance, and yeah, I see them finishing bottom. So it's a crazy call to make, and you guys might be very surprised, but there's always a big surprise at the World Cup, guys. There's always a big surprise, and I think Poland will be that surprise. Third place in the group, guys, it is Saudi Arabia. I think Saudi Arabia, for me, is very, very defensively sound. I like what they're doing at the back. My only real concern with Saudi Arabia is that they cannot score enough goals going forward. That's really my concern with them. And there's not a lot of standout names. Al Faraj is probably their best player. He's a captain of the national team as well, so look out for him. And he also captains Al Saad, and as we all know, Al Hilal, and we all know Al Hilal is probably one of the best Asian teams in the world. But yeah, regardless, man, I just think that for Saudi Arabia, man, they just don't have enough to compete. Second place in this group is Mexico. I think Mexico will barely squeeze through this group. I think Mexico will barely just make it through. I think they'll make it through by goal difference, and I think Mexico will just about make it through. And I say Mexico because of the fact that they have the experience and they have the players. And I know this Mexico team is probably the worst Mexican team I've seen in a while, but when it comes to World Cup, they always show up. They always show up in the World Cup knockout stage, World Cup group stage, and that is what they're known for. So I do think Mexico will just about advance by the skin of their teeth. Okay, Tata Martino is under massive pressure, and let's see if Mexico can perform in this year's World Cup. Let's see if they can. So, the likes of Lozano, the likes of, Raul Jimenez, then you have Santiago Jimenez, potentially a player to look out for in the World Cup. And then you have the likes of, Ochoa as well. And I just feel like Mexico will just somehow do it. At the top of the group, guys, Argentina. I think Argentina will breeze through this group. Argentina should breeze through this group. I mean, they have the quality of players. I know there's kind of a little injury crisis going on in Argentina with some key players. Like, I think Dybala is injured. Di Maria is injured as of now, as of November 1st. But I do believe that Argentina should have enough, like some Messi there, man. And Lionel Scaloni, man. Argentina is one of the favorites for this World Cup. So I think Argentina should top this group. So once again, I have Argentina top of the group. I think Argentina's going to get 9 points in this group. And the second place, I think Mexico, I think they'll beat Poland, and I think they'll get a draw against Saudi Arabia. I think they'll get 4 points in this group. Actually, I think they might, I think they'll get 4 points. And I think Saudi Arabia will get 3 points against Poland. And I think Poland will actually finish bottom with no points. Sorry, no, wait. No, actually, I think Mexico will get 6 points. I think Mexico will get 6 points, and I think Saudi will get 3 points. So, and Poland to finish bottom with 0 points. Crazy, I know. Okay, let's move on to Group D, guys. Group D, guys. Group D. Okay, for coming in last place, guys, I have this is a really tricky one, guys. This is a really tricky one. I am gonna go with is gonna be Tunisia. I'm sorry. I know my Tunisian friends. I respect you guys, but you guys, I'm sorry. They just don't have enough in this group. And I know they have the likes of Wabir Khazri. He's one of their best players, but Tunisia they just don't really do it in the World Cup. They're not really that kind of nation. So sorry, Tunisia. I think you guys will finish bottom. But prove me wrong, man, Tunisia. And you guys can maybe get that third place, but I don't see it beyond third. I think third is very hopeful. Third in the group is Australia. I think Australia will barely just eke it through. I just have a feeling that Australia will be very difficult to score upon. And I feel like their defense will be good, and which is why I think Australia will barely squeeze through that third place spot. But once again, they're also in the decline. Obviously we all know that their best player, Tim Cahill, is already retired. And you have like some Beer that's still there, and then Ledmia. Then you have some other players, and yeah, I just don't think Australia are really good enough. They barely squeezed through the World Cup qualifiers, and the same goes to Tunisia. Both of them barely just made it here by the skin of their teeth. Second group of guys is France. I think France, for me, I've just not been convinced with them. I'm sorry, they've been looking really, really shaky in the Nations League, as well as the fact they also have a lot of injuries coming into this World Cup. Pogba's going to be out, Conte's going to miss out, and potentially even Varane can miss out. Potentially, I don't know about Varane, but I know for a fact that Conte and Pogba is going to miss. And I feel like those are two big injuries for France, and I'm just not really sure how they'll be able to cope with the personnel. I know people will talk about Tuachemi and Kamavinga, but I think it's a big pedestal for the two players. I'm not sure if these two players are ready for the World Cup yet, and that's my concern with France is that I feel like there's a bit too many changes, especially also with the off the dressing room with the likes of Mbappe, the whole thing. Like there's a lot of issues going with France. There's just a chaotic situation, and I think France will ultimately finish second in the group. I don't think I don't think they'll go through the Champions Curse because I just don't think Australia Tunisia is that good. But if it does happen, it's gonna be interesting. Let me just say that right now. I think coming in top of the group, this guy's got Denmark. I think Denmark, for me, they looked really solid. I've really been impressed with Kasper Human's been doing this team. In fact, fun fact for you guys, my most popular video on this channel is with Denmark. They're actually the team. They're actually the nation that's got me the most views on the channel. So shout out to Denmark, man. Respect to them. And I love what they're doing. Kasper Human's done a fantastic job with this team. You have like Christian Eriksen. You have the likes of Damsgaard, Joachim Mele. Then you have the likes of Christensen, Kasper Schmeichel. This nation's so underrated. People should talk about Denmark more, man. I think it's a nation that could definitely go far in this competition. So look out for Denmark, guys. I think it's a nation that people shouldn't write off upon. And I think Denmark will top the group. So my prediction is Denmark top, France second, third Australia, and fourth Tunisia. Okay, round of 16 is looking very juicy, but we'll obviously do that in the next episode. The next we have is Group E, guys. Group E, we have here, it is, we got Spain, Costa Rica, Germany, Japan. Coming in last place, guys, it is Costa Rica. I just feel like for me, Costa Rica, I just don't really think they have it anymore. I know they have some great players. I know you have likes of Brian Ruiz, Joel Campbell, Keylor Navas, but I just feel like for me, Costa Rica, man, it's just too difficult for them. Too difficult. Oh yeah, I want to go over the point tally in this group real quick. Group D, sorry. I think Australia, Tunisia, I think both will get 1 point against each other, and I think Denmark and France. I think Denmark's gonna get 7, and I think France will get 7. No, I think France. No, wait. I don't know if yeah, I think, you know what? I think I'm going to go with Denmark to get 9 points. I think they're going to go perfect, and I think France will get 6. Okay, moving on to Group E. Yeah, I just feel like for me, Costa Rica, man, they're really standout players, Keylor Navas, and I just don't think he could do enough. So, sorry to say, I do think Costa Rica will finish well in the group. Now, third is really tricky because I am really thinking that there could potentially be an upset. I really honestly could see it happening, because I'm not really sure. But ultimately, I don't think I'm going to go an upset on this one just because of the fact that I just feels as though that this is a bit of a too tall task for this nation. And I do think Japan will finish third. But part of me thinks they might finish second. But I do think they'll finish third, likely. And the reason for that is because of the fact that I just feel like for me, guys, they're just really, really well solid. I think Japan's a great nation. They have a lot of quality players. Kamada, you got Kawashima, a lot of great players. Minamino comes to mind, etc. And I just feel like for me, the only reason I don't have Japan advancing through is because I feel like Luis Enrique and Hansi Flick are really good coaches, and I just don't think they'll allow that to happen. See, if, like, let's say, put it this way, if Joachim Low and maybe, like, let's say, Lopetegui was in charge, then we could have a different conversation. Then I could honestly see it happening. But because of the fact that I feel like these two coaches are very, very good, I don't really see that happening. But like I said, you can't count them out completely because I do think Japan will give a good account of themselves. And I do think they'll just about finish third in a very, very agonizing way. And the second in the group I got is Spain. Spain for me, guys, I think they're a great national team. I think they got some quality players. You know, like stuff, Ansu Fati, Unai Simon. You got Emerick Laporte. You know, my problem with Spain though is that I just don't trust their striker issue. And because as good as Morata is, I feel as though that he's a knockout stage guy. I feel like he's just a big moment kind of player, and I just don't really trust him in those kind of group stage games. So yeah, I do think Spain will finish second. I don't think the Spain national team is as good as people say it is, and I feel like this is also kind of a national team that is more kind of in the works for the next World Cup. Now, I think this World Cup is might have come too soon for them, which is what I kind of said for Ecuador. So I think Spain will finish second, and then Germany. I've been really impressed with Germany. I think Germany have been really, really good. I think Hansi Flick's done a fantastic job with this team. This Germany team is scoring like crazy. Um, but then context has to be key because Germany had a really easy World Cup qualifying group, to be fair, whereas Spain didn't really have that kind of easy, so it was kind of a bit more difficult for Spain. Whereas Germany were able to like wrap the top spot between like 3 match days before the final thing, I think. So, context is key, but I still do think Hansi Flick's a better coach than Luis Enrique, which is why I do think Germany will top the group. So yeah. So I think Germany and Spain, I think they're gonna tie 1-1. And I think Germany will actually advance with 5 points. And I think Spain will also. I no no. I sorry. I think Germany and Spain will both end up on 7 points, and I think Germany will edge them in goals scored. And I think Japan and Costa Rica. I think Japan will get 3, and I think Costa Rica will get 0. So yeah, that's my prediction there. Let's move on to Group Four. I mean, sorry, Group F. Sorry, Group F. So Group F. Well, how much time? Dang, 21 minutes 42 seconds. Dang. Okay. So Group F we have here is coming to last place, guys. I have it is Canada. I just feel like for me the problem with Canada is I feel like this is really a new experience for them. I don't think they have enough in their tanks um, to compete with other teams. I think they'll give a really good account of themselves, but I really worry for Canada in the defense because their defense is very weak. And while they have some great players going forward, the likes of Buchanan, the likes of Jonathan David, Kyle Lauren, etc., Alfonso Davis, I think defensively is where they really are weak, and I feel like Canada will get exposed a lot in the back. So I do think they'll finish bottom of the group. Now third is really interesting because I was really tempted to go in the upset on this one. I'm debating whether I should go in the upset or not, and I haven't really gone with any upsets so far on this one, and I think I might go for this one. So I'm gonna go third as Croatia. I know it's a crazy call. I know some of you guys might call me, "Are you serious?" I just feel as though Croatia just peaked so much the 2018 World Cup. I just don't see them doing it again. I know they have a really good team. I know their midfield is very good, but it's their attack that really worries me because I don't really trust Rebic. Obviously, I don't think Rebic will be part of the national team squad, as one of my Croatian friends told me. There's a dispute between him and the coach, and I just don't really trust their Croatian attack too much. Because you have the likes, Orsic, Budimir. There's not like anyone that's clutch like Mario Mandzukic. He's not still there anymore. And I know Perisic is still there, but he isn't really that goal scorer. And yeah, that's why I really worry for Croatia, which is why I do think they'll finish third. And the second in the group I have is Morocco. Now this is a crazy call to make. I might be overvaluing my Morocco stock, but I think Morocco is a really good nation. I think they have some quality players. Like say Hakim Ziyech, Bono as well. And I just feel like they're a really well balanced team. But my only real issue with Morocco is that they always tend to disappoint when it comes to matters the most. And I know some of you are saying you're just being contradictory now because you're picking them to come second. I feel there's gonna be one upset. I feel like one of the upsets will happen, and I feel this is potentially the group where it could happen. So that's why I think Morocco will finish second. But they could definitely finish third for what I know. But I just feel like there's gonna be an upset. I just part of me thinks there'll be an upset. So actually, you know what? Now think about it. I just thought of this, and I should be thinking about this now. I actually think. I think Belgium's gonna come second place. Okay, so I think I have to redo this now. I'm gonna do this actually now, right, guys? I think Croatia's gonna top. I think Belgium's gonna come second. I think Morocco's gonna come third, and Canada's gonna come fourth. So I'm still sticking with Canada. And the reason why I decided to put Croatia first, and even though I just kind of dissed them entirely, is because of the fact that I just realized that Croatia, they're very, very. I just don't because Morocco, as I just said, they tend to disappoint when it matters the most. And I feel like the same could be said with Belgium because with the quality players that they have, they always tend to disappoint when it matters the most. I'm looking at the likes of Lukaku. Eden Hazard has been kind of out of form. Trossard should be called up. We don't know if it's going to get called up, and I just don't trust Roberto Martinez, to be honest with you. So yeah, I just feel as though Croatia is going to top this group because the other teams are Morocco and Belgium just disappoint when it matters the most. So I'm gonna go Croatia to top the group. So uh, yeah, sorry for mixing it up there, but yeah, I'm gonna go Croatia to top, Belgium to come second, and Morocco to come third, and Canada to come last. So my point tally in this group is I think Croatia is gonna get 9 points. I think Belgium is gonna get 6, and I think Morocco, Canada will both tie with 1 point each. The Group G, guys. Group G, we have here. It is um Group G. We have here. It is Brazil. And the coming in last place, guys, is Cameroon. Yes, Cameroon. What they did was incredible for them to reach the World Cup. Was amazing. It was very, very unexpectedly. They scored at the last minute of the game, but I just feel like as though that this is very difficult for Cameroon. I know they have the likes of Tukwi Kambi, Abukar, Onana is there, but I just don't think Cameroon can do it, man. I'm sorry. I just don't think they have enough quality, to be honest with you. So then third place in the group, I got Switzerland. I think Switzerland, for me, I really like this national team. I think they're a very underrated side. But I just think that this Switzerland team, they just don't have enough quality up front. Like, the strikers that they have isn't really comparable to what Serbia has. And that's why I worry for Switzerland is that I think the goal scoring is a bit of the big issue. And that's why I do think they'll finish third. But who knows? They could definitely finish second. It's definitely between second or third for me. But I'm going to say they finish third because generally the same things don't happen twice in a row. And I think Serbia will get revenge. Serbia, man, they're looking great. The partnership of Vlahovic and Mitrovic is crazy. Mitrovic has been on fire this season. He's been amazing this season, you know. And I just think that Serbia is going to get revenge. I feel like Serbia wants to get revenge for what happened against Switzerland last time. And I just think Switzerland's going to choke. I think Switzerland's going to choke, you know. But who knows? Switzerland is definitely an underrated nation. Look out for players like Sommer and Bolo, then Mbabu as well. Quality team, but I just think Serbia is going to get the better edge of them. And then Brazil to top the group. I think Brazil will definitely top the group. TJ's done a fantastic job with his team. Neymar's looking good. Rafinha, Vinicius. Oh my goodness, Brazil have such a fire attack. Okay, so I'm going to go with Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland, and Cameroon. All right, now for Group H, the final group, guys. The final group we have here is this. So coming in last place, guys, I got a South Korea. I'm sorry to all South Korean guys. Their team is just not that great. Defensively, I think they're not that very good. And I just think that for me, yes, they have some quality players like front, like Son Heung-min, Wang Ki-chan. I know Kim and Jae is still there, but I just don't think South Korea can compete in this group, to be honest. So I'm going to go with them to finish bottom. Then third, I'm going to have is Ghana. I feel like Ghana, with those recruiting players that they have, like Iñaki Williams, Tarek Lamptey, I feel like these players will just give them enough edge to edge out South Korea for the third place spot. And the second group has guys Portugal. I think Portugal, for me, I've just not really been convinced with them at all. Portugal just looked really shaky at the moment. Fernando Santos, man, I just don't trust him whatsoever. And I think Portugal will just underperform as usual. I think they'll underperform as unusual and so forth. So I think they'll do it. Portugal, Uruguay to top the group. I think Uruguay's been looking great with the new players that they have. And I think while Uruguay is still a bit unchallenged, because to be fair, I think those last qualifying games were really, really straightforward and, it wasn't really that tough task. But I just feel as though Uruguay, it just seems to be more balanced at the moment. And there seems to be more of a better understanding. So those are my predictions, guys. Those are my predictions. So, like I said, let me go over the point tally. So I think Brazil is going to get top of the group with 9 points. I think Serbia is going to get 5. This group, and I think Serbia will get 4. I think Switzerland will get 4, and I think Cameroon will get 1 point. Right? No, wait. Yeah, 9-4-4-0, right? Yeah, 9-4-4-0. I'm gonna go with that actually. And then for this one, I think South Korea, Ghana. I think both of them will get. I think South Korea is gonna get 0, and I think Ghana is gonna get a point. And I think Portugal will get 5, and I think Uruguay will get 5, but I think Uruguay will outscore them. So I think it'll come down goal difference. So as you guys can see, this is the round of 16. We'll be doing this tomorrow, guys. And it should be very, very interesting to see what happens. So hope you guys did enjoy. Remember, guys, comment down below your predictions. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, comment down below what upsets do you guys have it. Because, like I said, guys, I think there's going to be some upsets in this year's World Cup. So hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure you guys comment down below your thoughts. Comment below. Remember, guys, like this video if you did enjoy. Subscribe if you're new here. Comment down below your thoughts. Check out the platforms in the description below. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out.